everyone, it's Lexi, and today I'm going to be doing a review of Mockingjay Part 2. So if you have not read the books yet or seen the movie, then I suggest you exit out of this now because I will be doing some spoilers. So to start out, I gave this book a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I thought it was an excellent conclusion to the series, and I feel like I have like a love-hate relationships with the Hunger Games. Like, I didn't really like the first book or the third book. Like, I really enjoyed the second one, but like the same thing with movies. I love the second one, and I feel like they did a really good job with the last two, the part 1 and part 2. So in the first one, like the cinematography was like really weird. So yeah, but I thought it was a really good conclusion to the series. I like how they didn't necessarily stick to the book. Like I like how they didn't like follow it to a T, and I think that was a good thing because there was some problems with the book that I felt like. And like especially because the book is from Katniss's point of view, that we don't really get to see what's going on like in the capital, what's going on with Snow. And I like how this movies in general kind of show us that perspective as well. Like, I especially enjoyed how they gave like Effie a bigger part in this, because in the book she only shows up at the end for like a little paragraph, and how she kind of is in the movie, she got a bigger part in that as well, and she's kind of like the comic relief, and I think that's always a good thing as well. So I thought it was interesting how they kind of portrayed Coin throughout like part 1 and part 2. Like part 1 you see her as a very effective leader, but especially towards the end when she's making that speech, you can kind of see how she's kind of shifting her perspective. Especially in part 2, we kind of see how she's kind of turning into like a Snow. But she says like, just make it clear that what she's doing, we're part of it with Katniss. So you kind of can see how that kind of transforms. And I just love Finnick. He's like my book boyfriend. Like, I truly love him. Insane Kathleen is very easy on the eyes, so that always helps as well. But I like how they kind of gave him a bigger part as well, especially because he, like, when he dies, it's all summed up within like a paragraph or so, but in the film they kind of made it so he went down swinging, and I thought that was a lot better. It kind of showed, I don't know, like, he had a better end, I feel, in the movies, even though like the outcome was still the same, but he, like, the means of it happening were a lot better. Joanna, like, I find like she's like a character that I love to hate. Like, I like kind of like the dark and twisted characters, but I wish she had like a bigger part in the movies. Because I know in the book, like, she and Katniss trained together, and that part was not in the movie. But I can see why. Like, I felt like how she was kind of the final push for Katniss to go out and kill Snow. So I like that as well. It was really creepy to kind of see her, like, all skinny and all that. Like, I know if I was, like, that actress, I'd be really freaked out seeing myself like that. But I felt like they did a good job at kind of showing, like, kind of the issues. And I was surprised they didn't talk about, like, her water torture, like, how she's scared of water. Like, I'm surprised that didn't come up at all. Haymitch is probably one of my favorite characters. I don't know, I just find him really funny, and I really was surprised with, like, the end scene where he kisses Effie. Like, I did not see that coming at all. I read on BuzzFeed that he just didn't tell anyone he was going to do it, he just did it, and I'm kind of happy that they kept it in the movie as well. That was really kind of funny. It kind of completely threw me off guard. And I liked, well, because like Philip Seymour Hoffman died, like, you could see like at the end during when Katniss is gonna execute Snow, you could tell that part was from like a previous scene. And also how Haymitch was the one who came to talk to Katniss after she killed Coin. And I think that was a good thing, like the way they kind of did it in the letter, and having Haymitch be the one to present it to Katniss. I think that was really good. I especially enjoyed that. Yeah, so I thought like they handled that very well, and like it was very thoughtful and very thought out, and they did like a good job with that. Okay, so let's talk about the elephant in the room, Gale. Like, I knew even from the first book, I'm like, Gale is gonna end up being a jerk, and like, I hate him. Like, at the end scene where he comes into Katniss's room and he can't even like man up to it, and Katniss is just like, goodbye, Gale. Like, if that was me, I think I would have killed him. Like, I don't know, especially like when they were talking about how, you know, people die in war, it doesn't matter, and all that stuff. Like he is a jerk, and how Katniss kissed him, and he's like, it doesn't even count as like a drunk kiss, and I really do not like his character. I don't know why people like him. He's a jerk. He doesn't even fess up. He didn't really apologize at all. And yeah. And like the whole thing with like Prim dying, like I feel like her death was necessary. I like how they included that in the film because it shows that like innocents die in war, and she was that innocence in that. And the whole ending scene with Katniss, like I found it interesting how like she didn't like have that breaking point until the cat came back, and that scene was just really sad. When she threw the cup, I thought it was gonna hit the cat. Like it missed it by like a hair. I'm surprised like it didn't hit it. But yeah, that scene was so sad. Like in the book, like I think like Jennifer Lawrence plays like a perfect Katniss. Like she's good with the dramatic scenes. She's good with like the action scenes and all that. But I feel like that scene is where we see her shine. And I think, you know, despite it being a horrible scene, I feel like it was a very gripping scene. And I like how, like, in the book, there isn't really much of, like, a Katniss-Peeta connection, like, in the second half of the book. And, like, I like how, especially, like, in the book, there's a lot of negative moments between the two. But, like, how in the movie they kind of, they do start out having, like, negative moments, but the more, like, they spend time together, the more he's kind of slowly getting back to normal. And I like how they kind of included that. And I really like the ending. Like I was originally thinking, like reading it, that it was just going to be a voiceover. But I liked how they kind of had Katniss like talking to her kid about it. And I like how they followed that, and just the whole ending scene. Like I felt like it was a good conclusion to the series. Well, like one thing that I noticed about the movie was that it's not as bloody as I thought it was going to be, especially like the only part that they really show like any blood was part where Coin kept coughing up blood, and then when Coin got hit with the arrow, like that's the only part you really see any blood, which I thought was interesting, especially like the part where Boggs kind of gets blown up. Like there wasn't really any blood for that, and I thought that was kind of good because it focuses more the impact and the negative impacts of war, and kind of like the emotional damage that war does have, and less on kind of like the whole gore and all that. And I thought that was really good, especially because it is targeted towards a younger audience. So I thought that was very good as well. But oh my goodness though, those mutts, like in the book I just pictured them as giant lizards, but like those things were really, really creepy. Like I knew like they kind of like dragged down the suspense for a long time, and I was like, my brother was with me, I'm like, Georgie, hold my hand, because I knew like it was gonna jump out. Like we were saying, like I knew there was something gonna jump out, but you don't know when. Yeah, and I really like Cressida. I like just kind of her character and how they kind of have her being like kind of like another strong female character, and I really like that. And especially like when Katniss says she was lying and that she was not on a secret mission, and Cressida was saying we know, and I just really like that scene overall. And that's kind of like where everything hits you in the film. And that tigress, like that makeup was freaky. I don't know about you, but it was like really, really strange. Like it was creepy. So overall, I really enjoyed this movie. I felt like it was an excellent conclusion to the series as a whole. Like everyone in the film had a very excellent performance. Like Jennifer Lawrence and, you know, Josh Hutcherson, and like the whole cast did a phenomenal job. And I just really enjoyed it. Yeah, so my sister is coming home for Thanksgiving on the weekend, and she wants to see it with us again, so I'll probably end up watching it again. So maybe there'll be things that I miss, because I always find like when I watch movies in theaters I miss a lot for some reason. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about the movie as well, and yeah, see you next time. Bye, guys.